What's up, YouTube? It's your boy 30 Command Chance here. Alright. With my brother Fat Dad. Check out his channel if you ever want to. So sadly, school's starting again tomorrow.
Sadly, I'm happy about that.
Starting again tomorrow. So I guess I'll give you guys a little bit of a history lesson about the Air Force, since I'm in the Air Force, JROTC. So we're gonna read an article that's actually from the Air Force website itself. Before I read it, I'm just gonna give you some of my knowledge that I remember from class, so you guys know I'm not, not paying attention in ROTC. So I know it was the Army, right? And there are these people trying to, introduce them to the air technology and flight and all that stuff, but they weren't really interested. They thought it was useless. And then eventually they figured out they needed air power, so it turned into the Army Air Corps. And then they realized that like the Tuskegee Airmen and other, people like that were important, so they needed to invest more. And then sometime later on, the Air Force, United States Air Force as it is, became by itself. But now we're gonna actually read the actual facts. I guess I just gave you an overview. Air Force website, airforce.com, and here's the first page what it says. Mission Part 1 from the Signal Corps to the Air Corps. On August 1st, 1907, the U.S. Army Signal Corps formed an aeronautical division. This action came only 3.5 years after the Wright brothers flew the world's first powered airplane at Kitty Hawk, North Carolina. At first, however, the aeronautical division was mainly interested in balloons and dirigibles instead of heavier-than-air flying machines. The Army had already used manned balloons of aerial observation during the Civil War and Spanish-American War in the 19th century. The Aeronautical Division accepted delivery of such as Captain Benjamin D. Foulis. A small band of early Army airmen experimented with various aircraft and formed an operational unit, the 1st Aero Squadron, in December 1913.
Okay.
On July 18, 1914, as a result of congressional legislation, the Army established the aviation section of the Signal Corps to improve its fledgling flying capabilities. Just a few weeks later, Europe plunged into the massive military struggle that became known as World War I. The Central Powers, primarily Germany, the Austro-Hungarian Empire, and the Ottoman Empire, fought the Allied powers led by Britain, France, Italy, and Russia by April 1917. When the United States entered the war on the side of the Allied powers, each of the major combatants had developed aircraft industries far superior to those of the United States. Despite optimistic plans and ample funding, the United States proved unable to catch up to European nations in aviation technology. Responding to criticism of the American aircraft effort, President Woodrow Wilson created the Army Air Service and placed it directly under the War Department on May 24th, 1918. By the time of the armistice in November 1918, the Air Service had grown to more than 19,000 officers and 178,000 enlisted men, while American industry had turned out 11,754 aircraft, mostly trainers like the JN-4 Jenny. The Air Service soon lost most of these people and planes in rapid demobilization right after the war. Although failing to deploy competitive combat aircraft, the United States had sent many fine airmen to Europe, flying mostly French-built planes. They distinguished themselves both in Allied units and as part of the American Expeditionary Force, AEF, led by General John J. Pershing. By the first time Germany surrendered, Brigadier General Billy Mitchell had honed many of the AEF's aero squadrons and groups into formidable striking force. While the outcome of the Great War was decided primarily by horrible attrition on the ground, and strangling maritime blockade of Germany. Air power had shown its potential and for autonomous offensive operations as well as providing valuable support to surface forces. The United Kingdom had recognized the importance of air power by creating the Royal Air Force, independent of the British Army and Royal Navy, in April 1918. Notwithstanding a bitter struggle by visionaries such as Billy Mitchell, the United States did not follow the British lead and create a separate air force. The Army Reorganization Act of 1920 made the Air Service a combat arm of the Army, and the Air Corps Act of 1926 changed its name to the Air Corps on July 2nd of that year. On March 1st, 1935, General Headquarters Air Force GHQAF assumed the command of U.S. Air Corps tactical units, which previously had parceled out to regional Army Corps commands. Yet, even after Germany, Japan, and Italy began to build up their armed forces, the Air Corps, as well as the rest of the Army, remained a small, peacetime establishment with only limited funds for growth and modernization. All right, so I'm gonna go to the next page. Let my brother read that.
I can read the whole page.
Yeah, I don't think the second page is as long.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not as long. Okay.
After September 1939, when Adolf Hitler launched World War II by invading Poland, the Air Corps began a steady growth from 26,000 personnel. I can't see that. Whatever that says, and fewer than 2,000 planes. On June 20th, 1941, the Department of War created the Army Air Forces, AAF, its aviation department, and shortly thereafter made it to the Army Ground Forces. The Air Corps remained as one of the Army's combat arms, like the infantry. Expansion of the AAF accelerated after the surprise Japanese attack on Hawaii in December 1941 propelled the United States into the war. Under the leadership of Harry H. Hap Arnold, the Army Air Force oversaw mobilization of the nation's aviation industry and the deployment of the largest armada of all time. The AAF's inventory
Incapacitated?
No, it's right there.
Encompassed
a wide range of training, transport, pursuit, attack, reconnaissance, and bomber aircraft. These included C-47 Skytrain, the splendid P-51 Mustang, the rigid B-17 Flying Fortress, and the awesome B-29, that was Super Fortress. Drawing upon American industrial props and human resources, the AAF reached its peak strength of 80,000 aircraft and 2 million personnel organized into major commands, numbered air forces, air divisions, groups, and squadrons. AAF units conducted a wide range of air operations for every theater of battle, from the jungle-clad islands of the Southwest Pacific to the sun-baked deserts of northern Africa, from the icy waters of North Atlantic to the snow-capped peaks of the Himalayas.
Is that it?
No, it's there. Okay. By the last year of war, the quantity and quality of the elite AAF units, such as the Tuckasquaki Amen.
It's Tuskegee. It's Tuskegee.
Tuskegee
You're-
Airmen donated the skies over both Germany and Japan. All but
We watched a movie on this. It's called Red Tail.
listen.
Oh my god.
Hush it. Paralyzing their war economies and economies. Air power did not win the war by itself. Did make possible the Allies' total victory over the Axis powers, punctuated in IES 1945 when two B-29s dropped atomic bombs on Japan. Boom.
Alright,
Read that last part because it's getting hot in here.
thank you guys for watching. That's a brief history of the Air Force, you know. Make sure you tell your friends, like, comment, subscribe. Check out my brother's channel, Fat Dad. Make sure you have your pair. You have to have at least one pair a day. It's healthy for you. Rick Ross said that. Shout out to all the pairs.
Bro, you expecting me
All
to
right.
laugh? Come on now.
Bum Squad, Trojan fam. Check you out later. Peace.
You look sexy. Go back to that. Go
Hold on,
back to
hold
that.
on, hold on. I'm trying to see if it'll record while I'm on this page. All right. Sessions part 1 from Signal Corps. Do you fart again?